Good morning. I've had several people request instructions on how to do a magic circle, and it's really just easier to show you than to try and write out instructions. So this video is to show you how to make a magic circle. You use a magic circle when you're going to be working in the round, or you are making a granny square and you don't want a little hole left from the traditional chain 2, and then do your stitches into the chain. So when you're starting a magic circle, you're going to make a slip stitch. Now, most times when you're making a slip stitch, you want to make the loop out of the long end because you're going to be crocheting from it. But with a magic circle, you want to make your slip stitch with the short end. And for the purposes of this video, we're going to call the short end the tail. So I've just made a loop. I'm going to take the tail portion, and that's the part I'm going to tuck into my loop. So when I pull it up, it's the tail that I can pull to make bigger or to make smaller. Now, you want to adjust your loop size to the number of stitches. I'm going to be doing 5 half double crochets, 5 to 8 half double crochets, or 6 to 9 single crochets. You want a loop that's about an inch, maybe an inch and a quarter across. To start your magic circle, you're just going to yarn over and pull up a loop into your slip stitch. Now, when you do that, you have your loop here, and that creates, kind of looks like, let me put my hook back in there. It kind of looks like a pretzel. So if I hold my loop, just to show you, if I hold my loop, I have a top section here that looks like a pretzel, and then I have a single loop here at the bottom, and I have my tail sticking out at the side. We're actually going to be working over this kind of pretzel top. We're going to be working over both stitches, so we're just leaving this bottom by itself. To start your magic circle, you're going to chain 1. This chain 1 does not count as a stitch. It doesn't count as your first single crochet. It doesn't count as your first half double or double. It's just to give you a little bit of height with your stitch. And as you can see, I still have my pretzel, and we're going to be crocheting over the 2 parts that have the pretzel. So for the purposes of this tutorial, I am going to do 5 half double crochets. I'm assuming you already know a half double crochet. So I'm going to go under both pieces of that pretzel top. 1, 2, and you can kind of see as I'm doing it, I'm holding the knot as I go under and do my yarn over, and then I'm moving and I'm holding my bottom of my stitches as I draw up through my loops. 3, and this is just kind of something that takes a little practice. 4, 5. Okay, so now I have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches, and as you can see, I've covered the top of the pretzel, so I only have this bottom section of the loop. Now, putting your hook into the loop, draw that tight, and then hold the loop. And actually, I kind of hold the loop with this knuckle, and I use my forefinger and my thumb, and I hold the knot. So I'm holding the loop here, and I'm holding the knot here. And then I'm going to pull that tail, and I'm going to pull it really tight. Now, by pulling the tail, I've closed this so there's no hole there. And then you're just going to slip stitch to join. Now, most tutorials end there and tell you you're done. because you can see I have my circle and there is no hole here. But this tail has a tendency to slip. So if you just trim it and weave it in, you may still end up with a hole here. So what I suggest is that you crochet whatever your directions tell you to do. I'm going to do 2 half doubles in each stitch about halfway around the next row, but hold the tail on top of your work so you're actually crocheting that in. And then the plus side is you don't have to weave that in the end. Okay, so I've done 2 stitches now, and you can see my tail is coming up after my stitches, and it's tucked in now. I'm going to do that about half the way around. Okay, so now I'm halfway around. I'm going to draw that loop up just so I don't drop a stitch. I'm going to pull the tail tight one more time. And now I can go ahead and clip off my tail. Now when I've clipped off my tail, it's already woven in, so you don't have to weave in at the end. And you can still see that there's no hole right here, whereas if you chained 2 and did your stitches on the inside of the circle, you would have a big circle there. This is great for hats that you don't want to put a pom-pom on, because obviously with no pom-pom, that circle would let in the cold air and it would not be very appealing. Also, like I said, granny stitches where you would like that middle section to be solid. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Like our page, come and see me at voileboutique.com, and have a good day.